comments start. How can you wake up dead? Well, when you're dead, well,
a lot.
I know a lot of people that woke up dead.
How many people do you know were born dead?
Content warning: the following content includes potentially triggering or distressing topics that viewers may find uncomfortable. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's jump straight to the record that I find to be the most interesting of all, which has come to light, that was actually filed for back in November 2022.
The prosecuting attorney has requested Department of Labor records for not only the 4 victims, but also 3 additional individuals. Subject: search warrant request. Sworn proof establishing probable cause for issuing a search warrant. There is probable cause to believe that the property referred to and sought within the premises contains information related to the crime of homicide. This includes all records and documents encompassing tangible forms of expression in your possession, custody, or control. These records and documents include, but are not limited to, writings, papers, tape recordings, electronic and audio recordings such as video surveillance, microfilm, electromagnetic recordings, optical recordings, electronic files or records, photographs, drafts, finished versions, originals, and copies, regardless of their creation, production, or storage method. Additionally, video surveillance/images pertaining to account transactions, including account opening, deposits, withdrawals, etc., are also requested.
Were kept private for a while and then partially made public, but they didn't have anything to do with other financial records from places like Venmo, PayPal, and banks. They were separate and not connected to each other. The Department of Labor keeps special records that are not the same as regular financial records that normal people have. These records are about things like work and jobs, and they don't include things like your bank account or how much money you have. They are different and separate from each other.
Supporting information can be provided to assist in identifying surveillance video/images for specific transactions. The requested time frame for the search warrant is from September 1st, 2022 to the present. This search warrant pertains to the individuals named below: 1 Ethan Chapin, 2 Maddie Mogen, 3 Xana Kernodle, 4 Kaylee Goncalves. Please redact any sensitive information as necessary and proceeds with the execution of the search warrant. Signature.
These documents, which ask for the 4 victims as well as 3 unnamed individuals' records from the Department of Labor in the state of Idaho. The statutes that protected these documents from disclosure include those pertaining to ongoing investigations, revealing investigative techniques, endangering the lives of certain individuals, which could include undercovers, informants, whistleblowers, etc. Now, obviously, it's the 3 unnamed individuals which could be endangered here, because the other 4, well, their endangerment isn't really in question, and in fact, it's the subject of a quadruple murder. The Moscow massacres, as some would call it. So yeah, considering that 4 of the students in this situation have unfortunately passed away, the impact on their safety in this case would be the loss of their lives. So I think that this document seems important.
Investigators charged 21 people they say operated a drug ring in and around Duke, UNC, Chapel Hill, and Appalachian State University. The U.S. attorney said many of them are current or former students. We want to show you the photos we were able to confirm and where the defendants are from. Most right here in the Triangle.
The drug ring involved more than $1.5 million in sales over the course of several years. The drugs included more than 1,000 pounds of marijuana, hundreds of kilograms of cocaine, plus LSD, Xanax, mushrooms, and more.
This is not a situation where you have single users, where you have a 19-year-old sipping a beer, where you have someone taking a puff of a joint on the back porch of a frat house. These are 21 hardened drug dealers.
The investigation centers around 3 UNC fraternities, Beta Theta Pi, Kappa Sigma, and Phi Gamma Delta, and one at App State, Delta Chi. U.S. Attorney Matt Martin says members would serve as dealers for their frat and others. Court documents show confidential informants provided details saying they felt safe buying and selling drugs in the fraternity houses. One telling authorities Little Frat Court felt insular. According to paperwork, defendant Chase Poindexter told authorities that all 22 members of his pledge class chipped in to purchase an ounce of cocaine for spring break.
The amount of illegal narcotics being sold and used in this case was not only astonishing, it has also reflected the very serious public health crisis.
Officials say the money flowed through apps like Venmo. Court papers explain defendants would rent cars to drive to California for drugs, hiding hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash inside.
Any other case I've seen in my 40 years in law enforcement. Brazen attitudes, casual use of just high volumes of drugs.
$1.5 million in drugs, they say, trafficked through college fraternities across North Carolina. Federal agents announced that drug bust today, they say, after years of investigating.
Reporter Dave Faherty is live for us at Appalachian State, one of the schools connected or mentioned in all this. Dave, investigators say this was happening inside frat houses.
Yeah, Erica, investigators called this drug ring so brazen, even they couldn't believe it. Federal prosecutors say members of certain fraternities at UNC Chapel Hill, Duke, and App State trafficked over $1 million worth of narcotics like marijuana, cocaine, and other drugs. It was going on since 2017. They say a man in California would ship cocaine through the mail to the Chapel Hill area and drive thousands of pounds of marijuana across the country. Defendants say most of the drug dealing was happening behind closed doors at frat events. In some cases, they mailed cash back to California. In others, they paid through the Venmo app, sending $15,000 over a series of 32 transactions. The Orange County Sheriff says it was very clear what was going on.
Sir, when was the last time you talked with law enforcement about the case?
Well, we just had a vacation. Law enforcement told me that they were going to drop off a little bit and not to expect the same type of communication that I had gotten before. They passed it on to another person. So basically, long story short, it was Wednesday, 5 p.m. was the last time that they reached out to me. So, yeah, that's rough.
Sir, what are they telling you?
They're kind of just telling me that They can't tell me much, which is frustrating to me because I've been very trustworthy. I do know things. I haven't shared things. We're the same family that found the original timeline. We're the same family that broke into the phones. We tried everything in our ability to try to get into this system because a court order is not the fastest thing. So we broke in and we did what we did. We know that we have some family passwords that we all share. So we broke in and we helped them. So it's hard for me to give up as a father my protective ability to other men.
Sir, they have shared with us that it was a targeted attack. Can you give us any information about that? Have they told you who the target was or given you more insight than they have the public?
I don't want to talk bad about them because these are some hard-working individuals, and I'm doomed without them.
How can you wake up dead? Well, when you're dead, well,
a lot.
I know a lot of people that woke up dead.
Okay. Oh, then, yeah, you're super good, man.
Run, Luke, run!
Are that way? That way.
So, you know where Friendship Square is?
Maybe.
Okay. Here.
You gotta go that way, you see the playground's here, right? Oh,
Yeah, playground. It's on the far corner of the playground.
Alright.
Yeah.
Initially, it was not very hard to see what was going on, such that when we contacted our partners at U.S. Attorney's Office, we were all quite shocked at how brazen these young men were and women were that were moving these narcotics.
Through apps like Venmo,
So it
court
wasn't
papers
something
explain
that we
defendants would rent
sought out
cars
to
to
do. It
drive
kinda
to
came to us.
California for drugs, hiding hundreds
Now,
of
while the drug
thousands
ring
of dollars
was
of
mainly
cash
based at
inside.
UNC Chapel Hill, several arrests were made at App State.
Orange County says this all started as a routine drug investigation that quickly led to fraternities here at UNC. From there, the sheriff says this unfolded in a way he has never seen in his 40 years in law enforcement.
Sometimes, lawyers you see on platforms like YouTube or similar places can't talk about certain things because they have rules they have to follow. These rules are made by an organization called the Bar Association, and they are in charge of lawyers and what they can say. These rules limit what lawyers can explain to the public and in the media. So even if they know about something, they might not be able to talk about it because of these rules. Legal professionals are experts in the field of law, and they can work in different roles. One of those roles is being an attorney, which means they provide legal advice and represent clients in court. Now, sometimes legal professionals also work as journalists. When they do this, they use their legal knowledge to report on legal matters and share information with the public. They have more freedom to talk about legal issues and cases because they are not representing specific clients in court. So, the main difference is that attorneys primarily help clients with legal matters, while legal professionals who work as journalists use their legal expertise to inform and educate the public about legal topics.
Adults, they do their own watching and investigating, and whatnot. They're too younger. We try to, our youngest is 10th grade. We try to keep them out of it as much as possible. But if they ask questions, we definitely, answer them.
You can't hide anything with the internet.
We don't lie to them or sugarcoat anything. And they do come to us with questions, and we will answer those questions the best that we can.
How is you mentioned your son, Stephen Jr., how is he doing just in terms of his University of Idaho career? I know that was just, he'd be shell-shocked, and I think he was doing it from home for a while. Does he plan to go back to campus, finish at home? What are sort of the future plans there?
Stephen actually graduated as well. So he graduated, yes.
He graduated with his sister, but he gave up that graduation for his sister. He didn't.
Yes.
That's kind of how we try to raise our children, not to be self-centered and to sacrifice their lives and try to help other people and find value in that. And that's, as a father, that's what I felt like. If I could have more children and give them a good life, then I was providing. I got a lot of comfort and enjoyment out of that. So Stephen's built out of the same cloth as I am, and he was like, you know what, this is my sister's day, and I don't even need to have it today.
Yeah.
But we need to get his diploma, put it up in a
Celebrate him.
Yeah, we do.
He understands that we will be able to do that. He just understands that right now we just have a focus, unfortunately, elsewhere. But Stephen will have his day that we celebrate his accomplishments as well. And, he knows that we're proud of him as well.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you guys are, I don't know what you're made of, but it's something a lot stronger than the rest of us.
Isn't waiting for police. She's tracking down her own leads to find her sister Kaylee's killer.
We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that.
Hi! It was Olivia who found the potentially crucial video of her sister and Maddie Mogen at a food truck just hours before they were murdered. She also tracked down their Uber driver.
I found neighbors' Ring camera footage so that I can verify that the Uber driver took her home.
She's also raising questions about why her sister called a young man named Jack multiple times the night she was slain.
At 2:26 a.m., Kaylee starts to call Jack. Kaylee calls Jack 6 times between 2:26 a.m. to 2:44 a.m.
Gosh, I give you a lot of credit. You're almost like a detective here, putting all the pieces together.
Yeah, tomorrow, me and my command team and other individuals will be going in to box up personal belongings of the people that live there. And we're going to be getting those items back to the families. It's time for us to get those things back that really mean something to those families and hopefully to help with some of their healing.
Why do you personally want to be involved in collecting these possessions?
Well, we have a lot of investigators investigating, and I'm not tied into the investigation side of it where I'm physically interviewing people, and it's important to me. It's important for us as a department to go in and take care of the families and get the items for them so that they can have some of those back and some of those memories back that are fond memories. And I'm a dad. I understand the the meaning behind some of those things. It may be something that we gave one of our children or something, and we're just trying to bring some of that healing. Point in time when the family needs to have those belongings back, the ones that we can get them back. They've asked for some of those things back, so we're ready to take care of that for them and give a little bit more time, so we did that. So,
why was the decision made to release the house?
Well, at that point in time, we were ready to start that process, and then the court, like I said, someone from the court asked us to stop that process, so we did. And we'll continue to do as we're asked there, and we'll start the cleanup as soon as we can again.
Why would the court want that process stopped? Or,
it could be many reasons. Could be for the defense counsel, could be that they just want to hold it for a little bit.
So it will remain under guard. Should we refer to it as an active crime scene?
It's still our crime scene at this point, so yeah, it'll still be under security.
Okay. I think because of this community, it's a small community, is a fact. 7 weeks almost, all these internets. So we've had Hoodie Guy, we've had the Jacks under suspicion, we've had a professor under suspicion. Did you guys actively investigate these things, and how distracting was that?
We investigated every piece of this investigation. We looked at everybody that we believed was involved or not involved in any way that knew our victims. So we were very active in that. And
when do you foresee the scene may never not be released? It's indefinite then. I mean, until a trial possibly.
I suppose that could happen. There will be decisions made by people that are probably higher up than me that will need to make those decisions, but I suppose that is a possibility.
Also, the house, the heat has had to stay on. I heard that it needs a new furnace, and I mean, who is footing the bill for keeping the heat on?
Honestly, I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know if it's through the management, property management, or if it's the owner or what, but someone is.